Nari McDiarmid with you, and it's great to be speaking again with Trevor Dixon, Managing Director with Mount Malcolm Mines. And Trevor, we're speaking ahead of Mining News Select in Sydney. What should investors know about Mount Malcolm Mines?
Thanks so much, Nari. And yeah, it's a pleasure to join you today. Look, I think Mount Malcolm is a standout, certainly at the moment, with our low market cap. We're a very cheap stock, if you want to put it that way. Some $7 or $8 million is what the entire business is worth in on the ASX, the current marketplace for our stock. So yeah, look, Malcolm stock is at a very low point in valuation. So that's certainly a good reason to pay attention to what Malcolm's doing. Feel free to buy a few M2Ms on the ASX, but it's really about achieving milestones, Nari. Our business has been on the ASX for just a bit over 4 years. So we've been achieving milestones all along, and it's those that are important. That's why investors need to pay attention to Mount Malcolm, because the achievements that these businesses get don't obviously get recognised until there's a watershed moment where, you know, resources are announced or processing gets underway, gold production actually appears in a yellow brick in an announcement or something like that. So that's the really important thing for investors, to have a little piece of Mount Malcolm Mines in their portfolio, so they get to see what we're doing when they're looking at their trading platforms. They're getting to see just what we are as a business and the milestones that we're achieving. So that's why it's important to sort of pay attention.
Now, Trevor, you've done something a bit interesting in the December quarter with an acquisition that could add to some processing capability. So, how's that going to feed into your highlights of your flagship Malcolm Gold project?
Well, it's very important for the Malcolm project, but it's very important for us as a business as well. And it certainly kept us busy. The processing equipment, again, was very good value for money for us. And this was one of the driving forces for us to make that investment. We got a lot of good quality processing equipment at a very affordable price, Nari. So we're extremely pleased with that. But it's off the back of our data review going on with our resource base. We've got Dr. Karras working away tirelessly there on building those resources at our Golden Crown, Dunbarton and Picnic South prospects. So this processing equipment will fold into that really quite nicely, and that's sort of what's keeping us busy at the moment.
So, what exactly is your focus in the coming months, Trevor?
Well, like I say, we've got the data review coming to its finality with some JORC resources at our Golden Crown and Dumbarton prospects. So that's certainly keeping us busy in the meantime. And we made an announcement this week, so very near term, of two appointments, very important appointments for that processing equipment that we spoke of in your last question there. So we have a study underway with respect to the refurbishment and rebuilding of that processing equipment into a functioning processing plant. So our guys have started. Adrian is in Leonora today, so he flew to Leonora today to commence the work with respect to that study, itemising all the pieces of plant and photographs thereof, and starting that documentation with respect to what might be involved in refurbishment and the like. So very important part of what we're doing in the shorter term, and like I say, it'll augur well for us with resources going forward. So it's all about what we're doing medium term as well. Let's push on and reflect back to where we were in your first question, I guess. Why should people be watching us? And it's because we've got quite a bit happening. And when those items crystallize, you'll see a significant jump in value for our business. And really, this is what investors are wanting to see. They're wanting to understand what's going on with your business prior to your valuation making a really big leap forward. And that's what we're looking for with respect to both the processing equipment, our near-term work, and as we go forward.
Well, speaking of going forward, looking a little bit further ahead down the track, Trevor, what does success look like for Mount Malcolm?
Success looks like two words, Nari, and that's called cash and flow. And that's what we're looking for with our forward action here. We've got quite an aggressive plan to push resources forward, and you can see the way the business has commenced that. And then, of course, this very important acquisition, very good value with respect to the equipment that we've been able to secure and now relocate. So all of that equipment, many millions of dollars worth of equipment, in my view, that'll turn into something really quite meaningful for the business. And that's what we're looking to do longer term, move ourselves away from going back to the market, going back to our shareholders to a point where we can generate our own cash flow and then start distributing some of that cash flow back to our shareholders. That's the longer term aim, and that's what I'm dedicated to do as the business manager here at Mount Malcolm.
Well, Trevor, always lovely to speak with you. Thanks for taking the time today.
Thanks ever so much for the opportunity, Nari.